Welcome to Mishna study, Masachat Terumot, Perek Yud Aleph Mishnah Chet. Over here, we're going to speak about a person who's emptying a jar of teruma, whether it's wine or oil. So imagine he has one, jar, and he wants to empty it out and spill it. Go ahead and spill it into another jar. So now he takes this teruma wine, and he empties it out. Now there's always going to be a little something left at the bottom of the barrel. So how do we treat this? Do we treat this as teruma? At what point do we say that it's just okay, you go ahead and put regular wine in there also now, right? Similar to the storage unit. So if a person goes and spills out spills out the oil or wine from one jug into another, v'nataf shalosh tipin, right? And there were 3 drops that dripped, right? So there's usually a flow. And at the end of the flow, there's like these little, you'll have a break, right? You're holding over the bottle upside down. And then all of a sudden at the end, you have 1, 2, 3. Once it drips 3 times, right? That's enough. It's enough to say, okay, now it's quote unquote empty. And what could you do? You go ahead and pour regular wine, fill up that bottle with regular wine now, right? So once you have that little, right, where it starts to drip, and you get 3 drips, okay, after those 3 drips, that's teruma, and whatever's left after that, and whatever's left over, that residue is considered, you can go ahead and refill that bottle. Now, hirkina umitzat, right? Now, let's say, hirkina, that's from the language of you tilted it, right? So instead of going ahead and turning it upside down, you left the bottle on a little tilt, right? And then at the bottom, of the bottle now, all I guess from the sides, right, it's going to drip all the way back down. So do you say, oh, I already let the 3 drips fall out. So now if I go ahead and just tilt the bottle and let it sit and let all the, I guess, whatever is the residue that's left, gather down to the bottom, how do we treat that now? Do we say, oh, I let it drip 3 drops already and that's it. I go ahead and fill this, bottle as is. Or do we say, no, it was original teruma and you let it sit, that's it. No, that's still considered teruma, and that's the law. Harezo teruma. This is teruma, right? Hirkina, by the way, is from the language of hatina chadech, right? Ve'eshteh. All right, this is when Ebed Abraham, right, when he goes out and he says, the person who's going to, tilt their jug over and let me drink, right? So over there, it uses the language hatina chadech, and what's the targum? How does Onkelos translate it over there? He translates it over there. Harkini ke'an kutich. So harkini, right? Harkini, it's the tilt, right? Tilt now, her jug. Now, okay, so that's the law as we explained. Now, moving on to another topic, also focused on smaller shiurim, right? Not so related to, exactly what we're speaking about now, but now we're going to speak, how much do you need for tirumat ma'aser of demai? Remember, demai, the only thing that you really have to give from demai is the tirumat ma'aser. Right, that's the only type of teruma you need to give. The regular teruma gula was already, we know was given already. So terumat ma'aser is the only thing you have to give. So how much do you have to, gather in order to say, okay, now I need to bother and go send this to the kohen? Right, if you have 1/8 of an eighth of a log, right? A log is approximately 12 ounces. So you have 1/8 of an eighth. So it's a little under 1/5 of an ounce. Right, a little 1/5 of a liquid ounce, right? A little on the 1/5 of an ounce. If you have that much, right, then you have to go ahead and be toreach. You have to go and travel, do what you need to do to make sure that this gets to the kohen, right? But if it's less than this, right, it's less than that amount, right? Under a 1/5 of a liquid ounce, then we're going to say, okay, at this point, just wait till the kohen comes to you, and if he doesn't come, and it's nifsad, then you could even leave it, and just let it, rot or whatever happens to it. That's not really. It's so little of a small amount of a measurement that it's already not going to be your responsibility to go ahead and find the kohen, travel to a different city, or whatever you need to do to be toreach to go figure that out. At that point, it's so little of a shiur that we already say it's like just leave it as is. And it's brought down over here. Why is this? What's the connection to everything we spoke about? Because we're speaking about small measurements, right? As we did in the past few Mishnayot. So we also mentioned the small measurement of terumat maaser, where you'd be obligated to go ahead and take it to the kohen, and anything less than that, you could just leave at home.